What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the GameTime Podcast. We've got a brand new episode for you guys. Today we are we are recapping week 2 of the NFL season. Before we get this going, I do want to give a big thank you to Mac Gaddis, who is sponsoring the GameTime Podcast. And if you see behind me, right here, GameTime Live, Sunday, September 28th, from 11 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So please, if you got some time Sunday morning, if you're getting out of church, something like that, or if you're just trying to get ready for the NFL season, make sure you tune in to GameTime Live. That is in a couple days / about a week and a half or so from now. So make sure you do check in for that special live stream. It's our first live stream. We'll have me, Darrell, and Ramon there. It's going to be a good time. Darrell, we're talking NFL today. We're recapping week 2. We had a nice little overreaction to week 1. Week 2 came with some surprises. Detroit looked pretty good after a rough week 1. They looked pretty good. Miami still on the struggle bus, but they got the win over New England. They didn't. Yeah, they didn't. That game was so tight, I couldn't, the score was changing back and forth. Cowboys had a close game against the Giants. I've got some thoughts on that today as well. So we've got a good one for you. And the Colts are 2-0 in the AFC South. Who would have thunk it? And they still haven't punted the football. So we got a lot to talk about today. Darrell, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the hometown, right? So everybody's talking about the Colts having punted in 2 games. I guarantee you, first possession, game 3, they'll punt.
Where are they at this? Where are they at week 3?
They done jinxed us, man. But no, in all seriousness, Daniel Jones has played well. The offensive creativity is really nice to see. Guys getting involved. I've watched probably about 5 of their 8 quarters that they played. Very impressed. Very impressed with Daniel Jones. There's only 2 games, but if he keeps this up, he may have a statue out in front of no, I'm just kidding. He's not going to have a statue. But he's playing well. I'm proud to see him playing well. He's gone through a lot in his career, coming from Duke, being drafted by the Giants in the first round some years ago. So good for him. Good for him. Good for Danny Dimes, man.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for Daniel Jones. Indiana Jones, is everyone's been calling him. So I'm happy for the Colts organization. What a crazy game that was. The penalty at the end. What did you think of that? Was that the right call? There's been a discussion.
Lifting. You see it about once or twice a year. Mm-hmm. And what happens is the linemen are being pushed and kind of held up. And you can't do that because it gives you an unfair advantage to attempt to block the field goal attempt. So that's why they got it as a 15-yard penalty, because guys can get hurt as well, too. That's why it's called unsportsmanlike. So right call, bad timing, right? But it was the right call, and the Colts came out with the victory. Proud of the Colts.
And props to the Colts. The Colts play Tennessee at Tennessee this week. Should be a win. Tennessee's been competitive for the most part. I mean, they had a close game against the Broncos, a close game against the Rams. I don't think they're going to get the win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they keep it close. So keep an eye out on Tennessee. The team I want to talk about is those Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. It was not a good game for Michael Penix Jr., but they got the win 22-6. But man, we talked about it. I put that clip up in that segment up about the running backs when we talked about it. By the way, got over 100 views. So thank you guys for checking out that segment. But man, you putting Saquon at 2. I can't. I mean, he looked great.
He looked great. He looked
and on the flip side, Derrick Henry didn't look. It was rough for Derrick Henry this week. But Bijan, oh my goodness,
right? Derrick had a bad game this week. Really bad game.
Yeah, really bad.
That running backs in this league are going to have them. Look at the total body of work. But again, I wouldn't be mad if anybody picked those 3 as their top guy. Derrick, Bijan, or Saquon. You're splitting hairs. If I was the 3rd pick, I'd be happy with whoever I got.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'm very happy that Atlanta was able to get this win. It was a rough outing for J.J. McCarthy. Justin Jefferson looked pretty frustrated. What is your thoughts on the Vikings for this season, right? We saw a very gutsy performance on Monday Night Football the week prior. This week, there was no gutsy performance. I thought after the field goal to end the first half, I thought, okay, maybe Minnesota's going to get in form here, and we're going to see something shake, and we're going to have ourselves a good ball game. That was not the case come the second half. The Falcons were the better team on the defensive side of the ball, and the Vikings weren't bad defensively either. It's just when your offense can't stay out on the field, eventually your defense is going to get tired, and Atlanta, regardless of their quarterback still figuring it out, they pushed that ball up the field and they were able to score some points.
Well, the thing is, I think the running backs for the Falcons played better than the Vikings, right? In other words, offensive line play, right?
Yeah.
The other thing was J.J. McCarthy didn't play well the game they won.
No,
week and a half ago, right? Or whenever. Yeah, week and a half.
That's why I called it gutsy. I didn't say. Yeah.
And that's all. It's all shucked. Sounds good, but I tell you, some people in Minnesota, and I've got some people that live there in Minnesota I work with now. They're already saying, "Wow, what a mistake we made about not keeping Sam Darnold." Think about this. Remember when I was there in Minnesota a week and a half ago, he could run for mayor and win.
Yeah.
Now people are saying, well, should we have kept him because of how well he did?
Well, speaking of Sam Darnold,
decision now, you can't go back anyway. You got your young guy. You drafted him a top 10 player in the draft. You made the decision based off of where you picked this guy and what you thought about him. Live with it.
Yep.
Live with it. No excuses. Live with it, Minnesota. You got it. But again, he got hurt. He's out for the next 4 weeks. That's going to be a struggle for them. They got offensive talent.
Oh, my goodness.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they lose 3 out of 4 games.
Well, we do need to talk about the injuries. There's a lot of quarterback injuries that we got to discuss, too.
I want to cut loose. I want to cut loose on somebody, too. I'll let you have yours.
But I want to get your thoughts on this, right? Because I remember this. We picked Seahawks, Steelers. You said Steelers. I said Seahawks. That was a pretty good game. Seahawks get the win. 31-17.
You got a dude who's in the NFL not realizing that when the ball's kicked 10 yards, you got to pick it up.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Tomlin should have did what the Jets coach did to that player and cut him on the spot.
That's pretty bad.
I don't wish that. That's not right because you messed
with Yeah.
But the point being is you got to know these rules, man.
Yeah.
You got to know these rules. And didn't Aaron Rodgers look very pedestrian?
Mm-hmm.
Very pedestrian, right?
Yeah, he looked all right. It wasn't great. Wasn't as good as last week for sure.
I don't think he didn't look worth the wait. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
All summer long, and will he or won't he? I don't think he looked the part for the wait.
Not at all. Not at all.
Seahawks, what my guy just talked about. That's Mr. Donald to you.
Mr. Sam Darnold.
Mr. Darnold to you.
And he looked pretty good. It wasn't a bad game from Darnold. There's a lot to talk about this week because remember last week when we talked about week 1, we said, all right, Bengals, this is a better start than last year. Well, maybe it's worse than last year. You lose Joe Burrow to turf toe. And, I've been watching me and my girlfriend. We watched Sunday Night Football last week, right? And I explained the rules, stuff like that. And then we were watching week 2. I see you're getting ready. We were watching week 2 this week, and they put that injury screen up they put the injuries up on the screen. She was like, what's turf toe? And I'm like, oh, it's, it's something with your big toe. Da, 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 da. She's like, well, that's a little weak of an injury, don't you think? And I show her a picture. She's like, never mind. So, and you know what? I've always wondered how bad turf toe is. It's pretty rough, but it seems like you're ready to go on a rant here. So I'm gonna give you the floor.
Let me go ahead and rant.
One of my dogs opened my door, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that. The floor is yours.
No worries. I think, and I'm not a medical expert, I think turf toe is more like a broken toe. If you're out for 12 weeks, right? And they've talked about this. You're out for 12 weeks as a fact. So not sure how that's going to work for him even looking to come back after week 12. I would say if I'm Joe Fragile Burrow, he probably needs to sit out the rest of the season. And it's time that we start talking about Joe Burrow as an injury waiting to happen. This is his 3rd year that his injury has derailed his season. That has let the team down. They invested money in the receivers, offensive line, Trey Hendrickson, and all this talk, especially about this guy saying he's going to have 700 passes thrown in the season. He clearly won't now. So I'm starting to call him Fragile Mr. Burrow now because he can't stay on the field. Get on the field, stay on the field. You got Mr. Browning that came in to replace you, took the team down for a winning score at the end of the game. people are already talking about they're going to bring another quarterback in and all this. For what? Browning is a seasoned veteran, the 6 or 7 year veteran. He played well in that game. They still got the offensive talent, the offensive line, and the youngsters on defense. They're 2-0 right now. You got 15 games left. If he can't go 7-8, which would put them at 9-8 for the season, and contention for a potential playoff bid. So let's start thinking about all this money that Joe Burrow is stealing, just like we talked about Lamar Jackson, like we talked about Dak Prescott, Dakota Prescott. Yeah, I'll get my tongue tied. But yeah, let's start talking, putting Mr. Burrow in that category as well. Broken down Burrow. Stay healthy, Burrow. Let's get there. And your coach that loves to go for it all the time with his analytic theory. So right now, Joe Burrow is on the outs for me. And if I'm Cincinnati, I'm starting preparing for the future without Joe Burrow. He can't stay healthy. And you can't debate that with me because he can't stay healthy. So let's put him in that category with the other broken down quarterbacks that we say stay injured too much. So that's my word on Mr. Burrow. And let's see what happens next week with Mr. Brown.
I'm gonna jump in. I have never said anyone has been injury prone yet on this pod. So my argument, I will say this. I saw a meme a couple days ago regarding the Burrow injury, right? And it's a meme that came out when the Bengals drafted Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. Somebody said it was 3 stick figures, right? Here's Burrow. Here's the offensive lineman. Burrow throws the ball and it says anybody, because anybody can catch it. And then it's another stick figure like animation, and Burrow's throwing it as he's getting hit, and it's Jamar Chase not catching the football because the ball never gets to Chase. So I think, and we've talked about you have been hard on the Cincinnati Bengals before about the money and everything else and their cheap ways of doing things. I think I love Joe Burrow, right? And that is my favorite quarterback in the NFL behind Justin Herbert. But I can't sit here and say that you are wrong. I can't. I can't say you're wrong. What I would say is, and I think I've said it on the pod before, the ceiling for the Bengals with Joe Burrow is a Super Bowl appearance, and the floor is him getting injured. There is they either get to the highest point of the NFL, which is an AFC championship or Super Bowl, or they're all the way at the bottom, which is Joe Burrow's injured, the season's over. That is how the Bengals have been in this course of Joe Burrow. Somebody also posted a video and it was like they were flashing back and forth between Burrow and Luck. Burrow was picked first overall. Luck was picked first overall. Burrow comes back from injury, wins comeback player of the year. Luck did the same thing. So the fan base, and it seems like other people online feel this is more of a management problem rather than a Burrow problem. And what I would say to that is Burrow was the one that wanted Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. Now, I agree this team has went out and has made the offensive line somewhat better, but it is not as good as it probably can be. The offensive line is still relatively bad up to this point. It's not a good offensive line. It's probably going to be
that middle of the pack.
I would say it's more towards the bottom, the middle of the pack.
Well, we got to look at the PFF statistics, right? But yeah. With that said, though, all quarterbacks are getting some licks on them.
I agree.
Mr. Burrow seems to not get up as often as other quarterbacks, and that's a problem. You just maxed this guy out. You maxed him out, right? So he's got 2 years in which he's playing, and he's getting a hell of a lot of money. We talk about Dak getting his $60 million. At least he's playing. After he snapped his leg, he's played. And look how he played last week to pivot. He played a hell of a game, put the ball on the money again.
This week he did good too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So pivot. I know we got a lot to cover, but I want to pivot that, right? Because Dak gets a lot of hell on this show. Give him his flowers.
I have been though. I have given him his flowers, but I'm also going to come on and say that game shouldn't have been that close. So I will also jump on
because of Dak.
It's not because of Dak. But what I'm saying is this game shouldn't have been this NFL. Close.
It happens.
Shouldn't have been this close.
Those are men over there as well.
If the Commanders can do it,
players too.
If the Commanders can take the
look what Washington laid an egg against Green Bay on.
That's true.
Same team that platform. week to week, you don't know, man. All of these guys are great.
But still.
There are no bums in the NFL. There are no bums in the NFL.
You know what? I will give credit, man. I mean, is Malik Neighbors a top 10 receiver in the NFL already? I mean, he's incredible. I mean,
I gotta take a look. I'm not.
He's incredible. Did you see that catch where he caught it? I mean,
I was purposely watching the game so I could say I told you so.
I mean, I thought the game was over. Credit to Dak, he got us downfield and got. I mean, that wide open catch in the middle of the field for the field goal. And oh my gosh, our kicker, Aubrey. I mean, man, he could probably kick from 70 at this rate.
That's why they got rid of Micah Parsons. They could pay Aubrey this max money,
and they paid that offensive lineman this week too. I saw that.
Yeah, they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. I like what Dallas did, man. I like the fight.
And Pickens has been good I remember when I brought that up, you guys were like, he's a diva. We'll see what happens. I think Pickens has been good.
Said he's just as good as CeeDee Lamb, but he's a head case.
He's been good though. He's been good though for the most part.
He's just as good as CeeDee Lamb, but he hadn't had an opportunity in Pittsburgh because he couldn't get his head out of the way.
Yeah.
And if he stays in line, I'm telling you, they have something in Dallas.
Will they pay him though?
Depending on where the cap stands.
Yeah. Okay.
Depending on where the cap stands.
Okay. I think Justin Fields is hurt. Jaden Daniels is hurt. There's a good amount of quarterbacks.
Jaden Daniels has the ankle injury. They say maybe game time decision on him. I say stick out, young man. Don't do this to yourself. Because every time I see a Washington Redskin quarterback go down,
RG3,
I think of RG3.
Please
don't do it, Jaden.
Don't do it.
You got way too much future ahead of you. And his backup is a former number 1 pick in the National Football League. So there's no reason. Mariota.
Oh, he was number 2.
Who's number 1?
Winston was number 1.
That's right. Yeah. You sure?
Yes. Okay. Buccaneers had the first pick. I remember.
Tampa Bay and Tennessee. You're right. Yeah. But my point thing is, Mariota could handle a couple of games if need be.
Probably.
He's a pros. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Mariota would be fine. What else is there from Sunday that you want to talk about?
49ers look like they're in trouble. They beat the Saints.
And Mac looked all right.
No, what I'm saying about this is I don't think they've got an identity yet, right? I think they still want to force McCaffrey the ball, but I think those receivers that they got need to get a few more looks because, I understand who McCaffrey is. I get all of that, but I'm going to tell you, man, he had 13 carries less than last week, but he also had 6 receptions, right? He led the team in receptions again. In this day and age, I get the running backs get a lot of passes thrown their way, but you got good receivers there, and you got to find them dudes, man, because that's going to help San Francisco down the road, right? We know what Matt McCaffrey can do. You don't know what Jaquez Jennings can do. You don't know what some of those other guys can do. Kendrick Bourne. That's what I was thinking about. You don't know exactly what they can do. Get them in the game and get them some touches and give them some looks.
Yeah.
In other words, you need to start phasing out McCaffrey. Yes, I said it.
Yeah.
Yes. Because Brian Robinson is younger and stronger. The only problem is he's on the last year of a rookie deal. Will you be willing to extend him to about a 3-year, $35 million deal? Are you willing to do that?
Man, what was I gonna say? Jonathan Taylor or McCaffrey? That was my question.
Man, did you see JT?
I saw JT.
Yeah, JT. He had that injury 2 years ago, but man, he looks good. He looks spry, and he looks on that carpet, on that fast track. Yeah, JT looks really good.
Man, when he got that run against Denver, I said, "Oh wait!" Yeah. I was like, "Oh." Yeah, I take Taylor over McCaffrey right now for sure. Definitely. I have an update to my NFC tier list. I've been continually updating it, and I have moved a new team into the Super Bowl contender spot. Can you guess who that is?
It's got to be Green Bay.
They already got moved up. It's a new team.
It better be Tampa Bay.
That is exactly who it is.
Right.
Is there any cause for concern for you with those Houston Texans? They are 0-2 to start the year, and the offense does not look that good.
Well, yeah, here's the cause for concern. You got the quarterback from the Ohio State University who sucked butt the last season and a half. You thought that after the rookie season, okay, he'd land in a decent spot. He was poor at the last season, and he's picked up where he left off. Open receiver after open receiver and misplaced balls last night.
To be fair, that whole, I want to say second quarter to basically third quarter.
That play calling
from both sides.
That play calling at the goal line for Houston was terrible. You throw the ball, and that's the best you could do, and you go down there and get nothing out of that.
And I want to say both defenses look great. I mean, both defenses were making play after play last night too. Both defenses
look great except for one guy, the guy that played at University of Alabama, Mr. Henry Toto. 2 big missed tackles that helped Tampa Bay win that game. This is a shame. He did the same thing at Bama when he left Tennessee. I told people, I said, yeah, he's going to get into the league, but I'm telling you now, Toto is going to be a liability at some point.
Was it Houston who went for the 2-point conversion in like the second quarter or something?
Yeah, they missed
Why would they do that?
Let me get back to my Bama guys.
Go ahead.
He missed the fourth down sack on Baker Mayfield.
Because that's when he got the run and he flipped, right?
Well, yeah. And then he turns around when they get the ball to number 7 for Tampa Bay, my guy. He turns around and just hits him with his shoulder, and he launches him into 12 more yards that put him in position to get that next play. It was 35 seconds to go. You lose 12 yards because Henry Toto says, oh, I don't want to wrap him up. I want the big kill shot. That's my point about these guys. This is the NFL. It stands for not for long. And if he plays like that again, he needs to be on his butt on the bench. You can't be a liability like that in that type of game. It was tough. It was tough go all game. He blanked the bed twice. In my view, he and the quarterback lost that game. The other guys played well enough.
Yep.
Nico
Collins had a good game.
And Henry Toto on the defensive end. You got to be better, man. You got to be better than that.
No, it was a rough game from Houston. And, I mean, it's not looking like a good season for Houston. I would say right now the Jacksonville Jaguars look better than the Houston Texans right now. They're the second best team in the AFC South.
Yeah, especially where they played Sunday. They played really good ball, right? They
lost.
Things just didn't happen that way, right? Yeah. And then the last thing for me I want to hit on is the tush push. But I know you had something to say. I want to let you share your thoughts.
No, go ahead. I'm waiting to say one thing.
Enough crying about the tush push. If every team has an opportunity to do it, the rules in place, every team can do it. Yes, it was a false start. You know how many calls that were missed by NFL referees on Sunday? I don't know. I'm going to throw a number out. I won't do that. But it was a lot missed on Sunday. And there were also a lot missed last night. The trip that the Tampa Bay lineman tripped the linebacker on the touchdown run in the first quarter. The lineman tripped intentionally the linebacker. So my point being is calls are going to be missed. Oh, well, whatever. Get over the tush push, fellas. It's here. They're going to ban it next year. You can tell that. But I'm so glad Jalen has another year of having it, and I'm glad he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass because he doesn't need to. They're good enough to not have to throw a touchdown pass. So go on, Jalen. Do your thing. Fly, Eagles, fly. Now you can have your thing now.
Well, I just want to say this, man. There was a man that had 2 touchdown passes last night, and that is Justin Herbert and not the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers. I will say it right now. September 16th, 2025. The San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, are going to win the AFC West. The Raiders are 1-1. The Chiefs are 0-2, and the Broncos are 0-2. If Justin Herbert stays healthy, and this team stays healthy, I mean, Quentin Johnson knows how to catch a football this season. I think the Los Angeles Chargers are going not only to be the better team in LA this year, they are going to win the AFC West. And then after that, it's going to go right to back what you said a couple weeks ago. Can Herbert win a playoff game? Well, I sure hope so because, man, if this season continues to roll like this for the Chargers, he's going to have no excuse, and I'm going to be praying he wins a playoff game because, man, you can't be playing like this in the first 2 weeks of the season and then get to the playoffs and play like Dak Prescott. You got to go in and perform.
Stop using Dak Prescott's name in vain, man.
Whatever. If this team ends this season with 11 to 12 wins and win the division, there is no excuse for Justin Herbert and the cheater that is Jim Harbaugh. They have to win a playoff game if they have this good of a season because they look hot out the gate. Keenan Allen looked good. And like I said, Quentin Johnson knows how to catch a football, unlike last season. Offensive line looks pretty decent as well. Najee Harris rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling. I give credit to what this Chargers team has looked like in the first 2 weeks because, man, I feel good. Now, obviously, it's the regular season. Herbert, I mean, I watched a video on Herbert. Somebody said he puts up Madden numbers in the regular season. That's very true. But, man, he's got to win a playoff game. It now comes down to if this team wins the division, which I think they will, can they win a playoff game? Woo! It's a good day for Justin Herbert supporters.
I want to be around if that happens, man. You
I'm gonna change all the coloring to the pod in Chargers color for that one episode if they win a playoff game. If the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, we're gonna change that microphone as the logo to Cowboys Lombardi.
It'll be Dak.
No, I'm not changing it to that. I won't do
Dak taking to the promised land.
I'm buying that jersey.
We got something to do too, by the way.
What's up? What do you mean? Oh, yes, we do. I'm sorry. I was all hyped up about the Chargers, but what you guys need to get signed up for is getting in contact with our good friend Matt Gaddis. So here is a couple words about
the
Matt
GameTime
Gaddis.
Podcast is sponsored by Matt Gaddis at State Farm. Whether it's your car, home, or renter's insurance, Matt's got you covered with fast, reliable service and a personal touch that you can trust. His info is on screen right now, so reach out today and see why so many people rely on Matt Gaddis. Big thanks to Matt for supporting the GameTime Podcast.
Thanks to Matt Gaddis once again for sponsoring the pod. I got off my Charger spiel. I was waiting to throw that in there. I didn't really give you a chance to say nothing, so I am curious. Do you have anything to say about that, or you just I don't know?
I'm gonna say this. Justin Herbert played a hell of a game last night. If he keeps this up, I'm gonna be eating a whole lot of crow. and I'll own it. And it's crazy. My oldest is a Chargers fan, so I'm sure I'll hear from him as well. Yeah, no, Darrell.
Darrell, okay, gotcha.
So,
I thought it was Dion for a second.
I'll hear from him as well. He's a Chargers fan from way back. So I'll eat crow and I'll be happy eating.
Look, I'm very excited for what this could become for the Chargers and winning this division. But speaking of a team that I mentioned in this division, Kansas City Chiefs 0-2, lost to the Eagles in a tight game. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said before when we previewed this, I didn't really have an interest in this game. I was just like, I think the Eagles will win. I don't know what the score will be, but I knew the Eagles would win. So I'm going to give the floor to you. If you have anything to discuss on this game, I have nothing much to discuss. I think a lot of people saw that the Chiefs were going to regress. The Eagles were going to stay the Eagles, except they do look a little more human this year, as I said, like when we were talking about the SEC, but they look a little more human. I thought they were going to be just as good as last year. That's probably not the case, but they're still very good. Any thoughts on the Chiefs? I don't really have any.
Yeah, Chiefs regression. Like I said in my rant, I think in week 1, no receivers. Running backs aren't making plays that they need to play. And as I said, Pacheco's not back. He had 10 carries for 22 yards. He's not back yet. Yeah, physically he's back. He's in his uniform, but he's not back. They've got a problem in the backfield, and they definitely got a problem in the receiving core if Marquise Brown is your leading receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. So they got lots of problems, and I don't think those things are fixable with the roster that they have. You got an aging Travis Kelce, and then your highest rated receiver is Marquise Brown, and next is Juju Smith-Schuster until your guy comes back from suspension. Yikes. No thanks. So I'll leave that to Kansas City. But the Philadelphia piece, I talked about that, right? A little bit of regression on the defensive end. You lose 5 starters, right?
Yeah.
So that's tough. But what happens is also you got a bullseye on your back now. Have you noticed the teams are trying to play the tush push differently? They're trying to get around the edges and grab the running back's legs to keep them from being able to push.
Yeah.
So they're being scouted, but they're still making plays happen, right?
Yep.
So until a team stops them on a fourth down, a legit stop, I don't care if there was a false start. False starts happen all the time, they aren't getting called. Defensive holding happens all the time, not getting called. Referees missed it. They're human.
Yeah, Chiefs have about go ahead.
Those people that are talking about that, they just don't like the tush push. The referee on the interview, I'm just sick and tired of this tush push. You're not out there playing. Talking about it's hard to officiate. It's hard to do this. Every team has an opportunity to tush push. Stop it.
No.
Get over it. Go on, Jalen. Do your thing.
Well, the Chiefs get a bounce-back game against the Giants, but it's on Sunday Night Football, so
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I'm not watching that.
Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in.
That sounds horrible. I mean, we'll see. Giants look good. I mean, they put 37 up on Dallas, so maybe they do beat the Chiefs, and then we really have an issue because it's in New York. Malik Neighbors is – I mean, there may be an argument that he's a top 10 receiver.
They're going chief hunting, huh?
We'll see. We will see. We're not going to preview week. We're not going to preview week 3 yet. We're just going to we just want to get the recap out, which will go out probably today's the 16th. It'll probably go out on the 17th or later tonight. Darrell, as we begin to wrap this up, just give me your final thoughts. Teams that you're impressed with, maybe teams that you're a little disappointed with 2 weeks into the season.
I'll give a couple of hot takes real quick. Tua needs to be benched.
Yep.
That's my dude. That's my
Quinn Ewers
needs to be benched. See what happens. Because I don't think after this season he's going to be a Dolphin anyway because the coach is going to be gone. I think they're going to be looking to move in another direction.
Tyreek's going to be gone. They're going to blow. The only person they keep is Waddle.
I could be wrong, but that's my opinion in that regard, right? Other piece, hot take. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as I said, they're for real. They got a real good coach, a real good defense, and a quarterback with a chip on his shoulder.
And Double E,
but I like the way he plays.
Double E has been he is immediately already incorporated into the offense, and when they're in that red zone, I mean Baker is looking for him almost every single time. Yeah, I agree. I credited them for taking another wide receiver in the first round because it's like
they have to. Evans is long in the tooth.
And Godwin's hurt.
Yeah, right. So,
but when you get all three of those guys on the field,
yeah,
you better hope you got a good secondary.
You can't have too many weapons.
It's crazy. It's scary. And then Bucky Irving in the back. Irving looked good last night too.
For him to be as small as he is, he runs with a lot of power.
Yeah,
lots of power.
Yeah.
Then my other take is the Ravens. I told you they would be peed off this coming week. They took it out on the Browns, and I look. And think about we talked about Derrick Henry had a subpar game. It still hung 41. You know why? Because Mr. Jackson is getting better and better as a passer. He hasn't peaked as a passer. I think his running is going to be less, and I'm hoping if he can refine his passing piece, he's got another 5 to 7 years in the league to play.
Yeah,
I absolutely believe that. So, and then last thing for me, Lions. I love the fact that they thumped the Bears the way they did. Hey, this isn't the mercy rule. Keep on playing till it's 0. There's no unwritten rule that you're up 30 in the fourth quarter, you take a knee. No, keep on going. Keep on going. I believe that the Lions are about to hit a stride here, right? I think the Lions are going to be looking at a lot of wins upcoming. Just for some reason, I feel good about them. They've got
they play Baltimore on Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. That's going to be a test. Then they've got the Browns, Bengals, Chiefs, and Bucks and Vikings.
Yeah, they could win all those.
About that, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised, man. If those Lions, out of those 5 games, they go 4 out of 5. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Go Lions.
I'm still a little shaky on the Lions. Obviously, first week was rough. Second week, they did their job against the Bears. This game against Baltimore, that's going to be a test for sure. Hopefully to rebound and get over the Green Bay loss. The first team I'll bring up as we end this off is the Colts. If they continue to roll like this with Daniel Jones, I think you got to look at Trey Naylor. If they continue to roll like this,
much for him.
He's on a 1-year deal. I mean, if the Colts do what the Vikings did this year, I think it would be a really big mistake. If we're 2 weeks in, I'll call this an overreaction right now. We'll see what happens when we're in week 7 and there's more of a bigger sample size. But if the Colts are at week 7 and they're 5-2 or 6-1 or something like that, if you let Daniel Jones walk after this year, I think you're making the same mistake as Minnesota did by not keeping Darnold. But it's a different scenario. I realize AR's had basically 2 seasons to play. McCarthy hadn't even had a season. I get it's a little different.
They mismanaged AR, and unfortunately for AR, I don't think he's going to see the field this year unless Daniel Jones gets hurt. Which would mean that there's no reason to go to AR if Daniel Jones rocks you at 11-6 season.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go to AR. So what you'll get for is probably maybe a 5th or 6th round pick. Is that worthy?
I just don't. I think the experiment's over.
Yeah.
I think it's over. I really do.
You know, the Colts, in his defense, the Colts wet the bed on AR.
And now
they got to make it right. If Danny Dimes plays like he's been playing, they got to make it right by signing him.
And if they do choose to move him, the Rams need to call. The Rams need to call. I think Sean McVay can do. Sean McVay can do right by him.
Over for AR. I don't think it's over for him. I don't
think his career's over at all.
I'm in Indianapolis.
I agree. I think it's over in Indy. I think, and even then, I think the Colts, with the way Daniel Jones is playing, he's playing good, but he's not like, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to say he's playing great, but he's playing really good.
Effective football. That's what
Riley Leonard could probably do that same thing.
He's not game managing. He's effectively playing that position. So that's, I think, the difference, right? He's not Brad Johnson of the Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? He's not that guy. He's making plays. He made plays down the field. Pretty accurate, too.
Riley Leonard could do that same thing in 2 years if you let him sit behind Daniel Jones. I just don't think it's in the cards for Richardson anymore to be. Nope. I don't think it's in the cards.
Circle City, nope.
If they're 6-1, why not? Just get a pick and move on, and then you could probably draft another quarterback to get in the same room with Leonard and Jones next year. I think it would be a real disappointment for Colts fans if you let Jones go. Say they get to the playoffs losing the wild card. So bring back Jones. I mean, there's no point in bringing back AR and trying to give him another chance. At this point, I think a lot of Colts fans that were big AR supporters are like, well, I mean, it's over for you now, kid. I mean, there's not much we can do. So I would agree. I think that's definitely a point I wanted to hit on. I think the Colts should consider trading AR. My next point is the NFC West. Like you said about the Niners, I think Matt Jones is going to be able to hold them over. But I really still feel, a part of me thinks, I think the Cardinals are going to continue to just ramp up as the season goes on. It was a rough game in New Orleans, close game against Carolina, but you won, right? You won the football game. You're 2-0. That's really all that matters. Rams are okay. Seahawks look okay. Good win against the Steelers. And the Niners are being held over by Mac Jones right now and that good coaching that they've got. The NFC West is very wide open. I don't think one team is significantly better than the other. Like, as much as I think the Cardinals can win the division, they're not significantly better than the other 3 teams I just named. The Rams, Matthew Stafford is playing solid football, and Sean McVay is probably one of the top 5 head coaches in the league. That is an argument that can be had. But this NFC West, very, very, very wide open. I think it's a division we're going to have to pay attention to, and it's going to come down to that very last week, I really feel like, unless there's some injuries throughout that division, which have already occurred with San Francisco. My last and final point is the Chicago Bears. I was on record when we did our first preview. I said the Bears had the best offseason out of any team, and it has not been good up to this point. And I said it when we talked about it on Monday Night Football. I said it felt like, after those first couple offensive drives, the offense was figured out pretty quickly, and it got stalled. And you said it, or maybe it was Ramon. No, it was you, because Ramon hasn't talked about NFL with us yet. You said Caleb looks like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he looks unhappy. I say he looks unhappy.
I agree. I agree.
He looks disconnected. He just looks unhappy, man. I mean, he didn't want to go to Chicago anyway. The word came out that he didn't want to go to Chicago. You're there, big city. That city will love you, man. If he took them to a Super Bowl, he wouldn't have to pay for his rent in his apartment or anything else in that city. But he's being eccentric and doing all the different things, and it's probably turning some people off, and he's probably getting a lot of hatred for it. So, and then with his play as well.
Yeah.
So Ramon, it did say though at the beginning of the season, this may be up for Caleb if he doesn't do well. Ramon said that, and I disagreed. I don't know about disagreeing right now. We'll wait and see what happens.
Oh, and my last thing. New England Patriots may be the second best team in the AFC East. They are just gritty. They're just a gritty team.
Tough team.
In the first 2 weeks that I've seen, they're just very tough. And man, you know what? I mean, out of all the coaching candidates, I wanted to end up in Dallas. Mike Vrabel was my number one. I slept dreaming about Mike Vrabel. I slept. Okay. All I did was think about Mike Vrabel. And he's showing why. I mean, Drake May's not playing great football, but he's playing. I mean, they're just gritty. They're a gritty, tough team, just like those Titan teams with Tannehill and Henry.
He was going to go to New England. He was never going to go.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of written in the cards. But it definitely reminds me of the teams he had with Tannehill and Henry. They're just tough. They're gritty. I like what New England is. I think, with New York, we'll see what happens with Justin Fields and the concussion. But right now, there's a good chance this team could be fighting for a wild card spot with a 9-8 sort of record, depending how the rest of the season goes. I like the start that they've had. Tough game against the Raiders. They then beat a Miami Dolphins team that, I mean, if the Miami Dolphins are wanting something at the deadline, maybe you trade Tyreek, trade everybody you can other than Waddle, and just restart because, man, it's not looking good. You're 0-2. Who they play next week? The Dolphins. They play the Bills on Thursday Night Football. So you got another loss coming your way. It's in Buffalo. Yeah, they're not winning that. So it's not looking good in Miami at all. We need to get Darren on the pod because I don't know. He's probably going through it, the poor kid.
He's struggling.
But Darrell, great talk. I love what we've been talking a lot about college football and NFL football, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, I think this pod has really helped me. I've always been into football, but I'm really I'm watching film. I'm watching all these different things. It makes it fun, man.
It makes it fun for sure.
So I'm excited, but we are getting closer to hoops. We are getting closer to hoops as well.
No hoops talk right now.
I agree. But what?
We got a surprise too for hoops. Remember what we talked about? Yeah. We got a surprise for our listeners, and we will be live by then as well too.
Yeah, I got an idea I'm going to pitch to you, but I'm going to do it after the recording. But folks, that is going to do it. Once again, thank you to Matt Gaddis of State Farm. If you want any of his info, you'll see it on screen, and it's also down there in the ticker. And then remember, right behind me, folks, September 28th, 11 to 12, Game Time Live, the debut of Game Time Live. This will just count as another episode, or maybe it'll be its own separate episodes. We'll have to see. But tune in to Game Time Live. It'll probably be on every Sunday. We don't have the kinks worked out quite yet, but we can confirm that it'll be on the Game Time YouTube, the Game Time TikTok, and then my personal Instagram as well. Those will be the 3 destinations that you can watch Game Time Live. They may change as the weeks go on. We want to test some things out, but we hope you guys can make it. It's going to be fun. If we have enough people, we'll do a Q&A as well. Darrell, any final thoughts before we get out?
I can't wait.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Well, folks, that is going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been watching the Game Time Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Game Time Podcast. We have been teasing multiple announcements. You heard about the sponsor announcement, but we've got one more announcement for you guys today. It's been something that has been requested by friends, family, people that have just found us about the show, and that has been, are you going to do a live show? When are you going to do a live show? Well, today is finally the day. We are happy to announce that September 28th, for the first time ever, the Game Time Podcast will be live right here on YouTube and 2 other platforms as well. We are still discussing what those 2 other platforms will be, but they are not official quite yet. When we have the info, we'll let you know. But we can confirm September 28th from 11 to 12 Eastern Time. The Game Time Podcast will be going live. It'll be called Game Time Live. We will have a 1-hour show that will probably cover the college football slate. That will be basically an episode for you guys. It'll be a live show, and then we'll just cut those segments out that are the best ones. We'll post them, but this will count as an episode when we do the live show. We are very excited.
Hey, about time. The chickens have come home to roost. Finally have an opportunity to get some engagement with followers, with people that are following the show, engaged in communication back and forth, hot topics that people want to hear about, things that they disagree with from the three-person panel here, or also things that you agree with, and something that you like about the show. As we continue to move forward, we're going to do some great things, and I look forward to it in the future. So I can't wait till September 28th.
Y'all imagine this. We're going live, right? And so all this crazy stuff that I say, you can comment. And you can talk to me. You can get at me right then and there. You ain't got to wait. Right there. You know what I'm saying? Right there. You can bring the smoke right there. And I'm going to respond nicely. But I'm going to respond. So you're interacting. You're part of the game time, baby. You're in the game. Put me in, coach. We're going to put you in September. We there. You there. The world's there. It's on. Another thing is you can see all the mistakes that my two co-hosts make, and you can call them out on them immediately.
You can also see Ramon Freeze live.
Yes. I may hit you with one of these right here.
September 28th. Coach Ramon's going to be ready to sub you in, so be ready, be here. It's going to be a good time. That's going to do it for us, though. We'll be back for more right here on the GameTime Podcast.
All the viewers, subscribers, friends, family of the GameTime Podcast, do me a quick favor. All right, reach out and get your T-shirts. If you look to the right of me or the left of me, you'll see both of my colleagues have these beautiful Game Time T-shirts.
Yeah, man, check it out. You see it right here, the logo that you see on the pod.
What you don't see is me with one because they forgot to give me mine. So you go get yours before I get mine, all right? Because you're closer to the family than I am because they left me out. I love those two, like cooked food, but they left me out. But you know what? They won't leave you out. Contact Isaiah, contact God. You can even contact me, and maybe we'll get ours together at the same time. All right?
We might.
Get in touch with us for details. We'll take care of you.
Absolutely. Rock the Game Time.
GameTime Podcast. That is right, folks. We are officially selling shirts. If you have any interest in buying them, let us know. $20 is the price for that. We're a startup selling them, so maybe Darrell will be nice and
maybe some flexibility. You never know. Just reach out and see. These aren't free, but hey, we have some opportunity to put our word out there. The Game Time Podcast as we continue to grow for sure.
It's all about support. So if you guys do want to support us, make sure you guys do let us know. Just something we're starting up. Just gonna see how it worked. We originally got them made for the pod, but then. We had a couple people reach out to me and Darrell about maybe wanting to buy some, so we were like, you know what? Why not make an announcement video? So if you're interested, please let us know, and we will see you guys next time right here on the GameTime Podcast.